Hi guys, welcome back to Sunlight Covenant Oils. This is part 3 of the role of essential oils. So if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, I encourage you to go over there and catch up on that. In this video, I'm going to go into specifically biblical anointing oils, some of them, and which is the role of this channel, is to educate you guys and to get anointing oils into your hands for this hour in which we're living. We're dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare, and the war is not against flesh and blood, and we're going to start to see more things come at us, and we're going to start seeing things more manifest in our natural realm, and with everything that's coming at us with the toxicity of this world. I believe Yahuah wants this to be used as a tool, as he did in the ancient with the ancient Israelites when they were in the wilderness, to protect them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, on all levels against sickness and disease and the onslaught of the enemy in the spiritual realm. And so I think it's important in this hour that we educate and bring that which has been hidden for so many years and lost and stolen back to light. Because I do believe we're living in the age of enlightenment, where people are awakening up to truth and lies that we have inherited, and essential oils has been one of them, or at least specifically the biblical anointing oils has been one of them that has been lost. So Yahuah told me to start developing oils for people to and get them into their hands so to be used in this hour. And so I want to go specifically into some biblical oils that were used in the Bible by the ancient Israelites. And if you don't know yet that you're an Israelite, if you've come out of the traditions and doctrines of men, and you know Yahushua the Messiah, and you keep his commandments, you have crossed over into an Israelite. You have come into and been grafted into the house of Israel. And so this is for you. So I want to start by going into just a few a few oils of the Bible, biblical oils. I'm not going to hit all of them, but I want to more hone in on the ones that are in my anointing oils and the Exodus 30 oil, and go into more specifics about that. So some of the biblical anointing oils are frankincense, myrrh, cassia, cinnamon, sandalwood, cedarwood, spikenard, cypress, myrtle, hyssop, onycha, rose of Sharon, fir balsam, calamus. Those are some of the ones that are in the Bible that are listed. There's over 188 references to biblical anointing oils in the Bible. And so I just want to share with you just some of those and go into a little bit of detail, and then really hone in on what is in my oils here at Sunlight Covenant Oils. So let's start off with talking about hyssop. No, not hyssop first. I got this out of order. I got my notes here. So if you see me looking over, it's because I don't want to miss anything. So I'm just going to kind of refer to this a little bit. But the first one I want to cover is sandalwood. Sandalwood in biblically is also known, you'll see like in the Song of Solomon, it'll be talked when it comes to saying aloes. Aloes are referred to as sandalwood. In John 19:38 and 39, this was used to embalm Yahushua after they brought him down from the tree. Actually, there was about 75 to 100 pounds worth that was applied to him, and in today's market, that's about $200,000 worth of sandalwood. So yeah, that was a lot of oil, a lot of price, very pricey. When Yahushua returns, sandalwood will be one of the ones on his garments. It says in Psalm 45 verse 8 that when he returns, his garments will smell like that of cassia, myrrh, cassia, and sandalwood, or the Bible calls it aloes. And so this is one of the oils that I want to develop here that I am in the process of developing here in the near future. Which will be the smell of Yahushua. And so the uses of sandalwood are to oxygenate, produce melatonin to help you sleep, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So sandalwood is it's a base note oil, and so it's a thicker oil, and so just very good smelling. And so in the process of using this oil in my future blends. The next oil I would like to talk about is hyssop. Hyssop was used by the Israelites. They dipped hyssop branches into the blood of the lamb, and they applied it, sprinkled it on the door with the blood. Hyssop was a cleansing agent, and this was the smell that was released from hyssop when they applied it to the doorpost what stopped the death angel from coming in to kill the firstborn. Anyone that did not have the blood on the doorpost, were not protected. So hyssop was used as a sign to the angel that it was to pass over. In the ancient Hebrews, they also believed that it blocked evil spirits from coming into their energy field. As Psalm 51:7 says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow." So hyssop was used as a purging and a cleansing agent. Let's see. Ankia is another one I'd like to talk about, and Ankia will be also in a future blend that I'm going to put in another blend that I'm working on, and it's going to be specifically for prayer and intercession. It's one of the oils I use when I am in prayer or interceding or in praise and worship or just my one-on-one time with Yahuah. Ankia is a part of a blend that I use, which helps, that blend will help you focus and concentrate, and it takes you to another level spiritually to help you really delve into prayer and not get distracted. So this oil was in one of the listed in Exodus 30 for the holy incense that was placed on the altar. As the incense went up into the heavens, Yahuah smelled it. It was a sweet smelling savor into his nostrils. And so there was a few oils that were used at the altar of incense in the temple. It's used as an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, and it also is very good for healing wounds. The Rose of Sharon, actually that one doesn't smell like roses at all, but the Rose of Sharon helps with cell regeneration, arthritis, and it's also a wound healer. So it's just a little bit about that. I don't know if I have a little more detail. Let me see if I can find that on because I didn't really write down a whole bunch about the Rose of Sharon. Yeah, let's see. It's useful for treating infection conditions. It's an antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiseptic, astringent, anti-infectious property. So it's all the antis. It's also an anti-inflammatory, anti-hemorrhagic, I can't pronounce that, sorry, immune stimulant, and it is an expectorant tonic. It supports the sympathetic nervous system and is immune stimulant. The Rose of Sharon can be useful for bronchitis, respiratory infections, coughs, rhinitis, urinary tract infections, wounds, wrinkles, hemorrhages, arthritis, and is known for elevating the emotions and calming the nerves. It helps reduce inflammation, and it is a neurotonic for sympathetic nervous system. Its uses is good for the immune system, mental and emotional immune system, and you're going to notice with all these oils that it's good for the mental and emotional states. Oftentimes we want to focus on our physical well-being with eating right, exercising, taking all the right supplements. But if you are an emotional wreck and you have a lot of trapped emotions that can often be trapped in there from being in the womb of your mother, years back, you could have a lot of trapped emotions that are trapped in certain organs of the body, and so I work a lot with me and my family on releasing trapped emotions. There's a technique you can use, and you can learn yourself. If you go to Amazon and get the book, The Emotion Code, it teaches you how to get trapped emotions and release trapped emotions out of your body so your body can heal itself better, because the body prioritizes healing. It prioritizes the physical first and then the emotional. So you can be eating all the right stuff, exercising, taking all the right supplements, and you're still not healing as fast as you could be, because you're dealing with a lot of emotional wounds or emotional pains that are trapped inside the body. And when you have a blockage inside the body, that you cannot function correctly and you cannot heal correctly as if you were free from that. So once you deal with your emotions, then your physical body can heal a lot quicker and faster, the way it's designed to. So you're going to notice that a lot of these these biblical oils are going to help. All of them actually will help with your mental and emotional well-being. And as we talked about in the previous video, that certain components or chemical compounds or molecules of certain oils will, especially spicy oils, will go into this, will shed the cell of toxins around the shell that have been built up. And then you have the sesquiterpenes then that can go into the cell and actually reprogram and get rid of all the garbage and the information. So you have spicy oils that help detox the cell, the outside, and strip it down, and then the other oils can go into it and protect, get rid of old information that should not be there, negative things, thought processes, and and just discard it out of there and to reprogram it with correct information the way Yahuah designed it. So just very beneficial oils all the way around. Helps with muscular joints. We're back to the Rose of Sharon. Urinary problems, respiratory problems, nervous system problems, and skin problems. And so that's a little bit on the Rose of Sharon. So those are just a few that I wanted to kind of hit from biblical oils, but I want to really get into what's in the oils that are in the Exodus 30 oil, which is my royalty, and then my protect, defend, and deliver oils. So that you can, if you want to purchase these, that you'll gain a better understanding of what you're getting and what the ingredients are and what they can help with on all levels of your body, from the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So the first one I would like to talk about is frankincense. And frankincense is going to be in my protect and my deliver and my defend oils. It is not in the royalty. So 3 of those oils have frankincense in them. Frankincense, biblically in Numbers 16, was used in the altar of incense. Moses told Aaron when the plagues were coming and it was killing a lot of people, he says, go fire up the altar of incense and put on frankincense. And frankincense is what stopped the plague. Frankincense helps fight disease, increases the immune system. It creates health and wellness. It's a universal cure-all. The Egyptians thought that this was a universal cure-all that cured you anywhere from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. This turns off cancer and turns on the DNA back to a healthy state, and it increases positive thoughts. And so frankincense was also one of the oils that was given to Yahushua at his birth. He was given gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And frankincense was, we'll get here in a little bit, why he was given those. Just going into a little bit more about frankincense. Frankincense is a favorite for quieting the mind and encouraging emotional healing on all levels. Some of its properties include antimicrobial, immune stimulant, antidepressant, anti-inflammatory, arthritis, antiseptic, astringent, carminative, digestive, diuretic, sedative, tonic, and expectorant. And it's useful for your mental and emotional states, muscular problems, respiratory problems, and for your skin and hair. And so it's very good overall cure-all. So you'll find that in 3 of the 4 of the oils that I sell. The next oil I want to cover is myrrh. Myrrh was also is very interesting. It was also one of the oils given to Yahushua at his birth. And this is the only oil found at the beginning of the Bible and at the end of the Bible. So, for example, when Joseph was sold into slavery to the Midianites, they brought myrrh to buy him, right? When they sold him, they took him and they gave him myrrh. When Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to get food, remember Joseph was second in command. He was over all the food of Egypt during the 7 years of famine, and he was the one distributing it. His family came to him because they needed food. They had to come down to Egypt. And so when they came to him, they brought myrrh to Joseph. It was the first oil Yahushua was given as a baby, and it was offered to him also at his crucifixion. And why was it offered to him? Because myrrh suspends any oil, and it allows it to live for longer periods of time. So you can combine myrrh with any oil, and it helps it stretches out the life of it, and it's just a very good companion for many oils. And so when they offered Yahusha wine mixed with myrrh, it was because the myrrh helped extend the length of the wine longer, because this helped with transcendence, it helped with pain, and as we see, Yahusha did not take this, right? He refused it because he came to bear our sin. He had to go through the suffering, and he had to go through it, the pain and all of that. So he did not take it. But that is why they offered the myrrh mixed with the wine. So frankincense and myrrh, like I said, were given to Yahusha at his birth, and they were given on a physical level to protect him. And on a spiritual level, frankincense was allowed him to tap into higher spiritual thought patterns, and it also do the same for you, because both of these are sesquiterpenes. I cannot talk today. Sesquiterpenes, and they're very brain oxygenating. So they can pass the blood-brain barrier, and they oxygenate the brain, and they help in meditation and prayer. They help with study, focus, and concentration. So be very good to use, because I have both frankincense and myrrh in my Protect, Defend, and Deliver, and myrrh is also in the Holy Anointing Oil of Exodus 30, and so they will help. It helps you tune in, and so I'm going to be coming up with another blend, like I said earlier, specifically for prayer and meditation and worship and your time with Yahuah, because will help you transcend into a higher level of spiritual thought patterns. Frankincense is a favorite for, I already talked about that, I'm sorry. So we're going to myrrh. Myrrh is a sesquiterpene, which there's all the oils have a chemical component to them, and one of the components in some essential oils is sesquiterpenes, and sesquiterpenes can pass the blood-brain barrier. They can also get into the cells and take out old garbage and protect the DNA and program the DNA. And so myrrh is very high in sesquiterpenes content and contributes to anti-inflammatory, pain-relieving effects. It's highly prized by the Arabians because of its ability to treat skin conditions such as wrinkles, chapped, and cracked skin. And like clove bud, myrrh is used in a great number of oral hygiene products. It's useful for your bones and joints, your digestive, immune, and mental and emotional problems, muscular and joint problems, reproductive problems, respiratory problems, and skin problems. So myrrh is very beneficial. And so, like I said, myrrh is in all the oils that I do have. The next oil I'm going to talk about is cassia. Cassia has the same component as cinnamon. Cinnamon, very spicy. It's a spicy oil. To me, it's more like sweet cinnamon smell. This particular oil protected the Israelites from disease. It fought bacteria and viruses. It supported the immune system, such as cold and the flu. And it's a key ingredient in the temple incense and the holy anointing oil. And so cassia was very powerful. It's like it's all the antis, right? Because it's a spicy oil. And so, when they were in the wilderness and they had to slaughter animals all the time, with slaughtering of animals come disease, right? You'll get the bacteria and a lot of microbial issues. And so cassia was one of those things that helped clean up the mess, if you will, and protect them from sickness and disease. And so cassia is an excellent oil for treating infections, as it provides antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, astringent, antimicrobial properties for digestive-related problems. It is anti-inflammatory. It's a carminative and antidiarrheal. Is also considered to be a stimulant and an anticoagulant, and it's useful for digestive, circulatory, menstrual issues, immune system, muscular and joint problems, mental and emotional problems, helps lift the spirits and helps depression. It's good for respiratory issues and skin problems as well. And it's a very good antifungal, like I said, for nail infections and skin infections, fungal problems. So very, very, very powerful oil. And It's not something that, with like cinnamon and cassia, it's not something you want to keep it away from your mucous membranes and your eyes and that, because it will burn. I have all my oils have extra 100% extra cold pressed olive oil in them. That's the only oil suitable for an anointing oil. And so I'll go into another video, like I've said before, on specifically about olive oil and its health benefits, and it's used as a carrier oil. So when you mix any essential oil, a spicy oil, you know, you always want to test a patch of your skin first to see how your skin is going to react. But if you have an irritation or burn, you just add a carrier oil. And a carrier oil with any essential oil can be almond oil, coconut oil, olive oil, you know, vegetable oil, whatever you can, and it'll cut the burn and the irritation because it helps carry it into the skin instead of putting it on just the oil. So that all of my oils have the olive oil in them, so it's going to help with that. So that's cassia. The next oil I'm going to talk about is cinnamon, and cinnamon is in the holy anointing oil, or my royalty, and it is very useful for your digestive. It calms spasms of the digestive tract, indigestion, diarrhea, colitis, vomiting, and nausea. It's good for the circulation, helps reduce blood pressure, improves the circulation. It's good for regulate scanty periods, for the menstrual cycle. It's good for mental and emotional issues, uplifts the spirits, for depression, nervous exhaustion, stress-related conditions. It's good for the immune system. It boosts it, and it combats viral, bacterial, and fungal infections. It's good for the respiratory system, and it helps fight viral respiratory conditions, including influenza. It's good for the skin. It heals fungal and skin and nail infections, stings, scabies, and lice. And it's good for the endocrine system. It can help used to treat diabetes and high blood sugar. So very, very good oil. So some of, I guess, the precautions to be used with both, you know, cinnamon and cassia as their spicier oils is it can be a dermal toxin and irritant. So use it with extreme care, and it can irritate mucous membranes if it's directly, you know, inhaled. And that would be more of a neat, you know, without having a carrier oil with it. But the carrier oils will help cut that down pretty much all. So I've never had a problem with any irritation or burning when I applied it with a carrier oil. But if you tend to have sensitive skin and you do happen to put one of my oils on that have cinnamon or cassia or spicier oil in it, even though it has the olive oil in it, and you still feel a slight burn or whatever, you can always add more olive oil of your own to it, and should take it away. All right, so that's cinnamon, and the next one I'm going to talk about is cedar wood. Cedar wood is a very interesting oil, one that it's had to grow on me, but I really love it now. And cedar wood is in my Defend oil. Cedar wood was, as you know, like with cedar hope chests or any of that stuff, anytime you're dealing with cedar, you know, the smell of that was, the oils that come out of that were used to keep foreign pests from entering. And so this also protects the body from foreign invaders, you know. So this cedar wood was used in the Temple of Solomon. His temple was built from the cedars of Lebanon. And so you wonder why that Solomon was considered the wisest man. It was because cedar wood, he was in there smelling that all the time. And cedar wood is a high sesquiterpene, which is the chemical component of cedar wood. It can pass the blood-brain barrier and it's a high oxygenator to the brain. And so you can imagine Solomon in his temple all day smelling cedar wood. He was getting his brain overloaded with oxygen. And so that's why he was considered one of the wisest men, because he was just surrounded himself with cedar wood. Cedar wood is its uses are good for your circulation, mental and emotional issues. It brings harmony to the nervous system. It's very calming, soothing, assists with concentration and mental clarity. It counters nervous tension, depression, anxiety, exhaustion, and stress-related conditions. It's good for the respiratory system, the urinary system, the skin and hair. It's effective for acne and dermatitis, eczema, fungal infections, cuts, insect repellent, wounds, hair care, dandruff, greasy hair, and alopecia, which is hair loss. So it's a very good oil. I do want to state that cedar wood can come from other varieties. There's lots of varieties of frankincense and cedar wood. There's, this can include like Virginian cedar wood, Texas cedar wood, Himalayan cedar wood. And so I just want to let you know that my frankincense and my cedar wood all have different varieties of frankincense and cedar wood from all over the world in them. I think don't quote me, but I'll have to look. But I think the frankincense has maybe about 7 different varieties of frankincense in it. And the cedar wood might have like 5 different varieties in there. So you're getting quite a bit of frankincense and cedar wood, both. So yeah, so that's about cedar wood. The next one I want to talk about is fir balsam. Fir balsam is in my Protect oil. Fir balsam is, if you like a forest or woods or pine smells, you'll love fir balsam. Fir balsam is very grounding to the spirit. It's very grounding to you physically. So if you feel scattered or confused or you're vacillating on a decision, can't make up your mind type of mentality, fir balsam will bring you into that grounding state. And so fir balsam is an analgesic, a stimulant, and a tonic. It's a good oil for treating aches and pains, poor circulation, general exhaustion. Its expectorant properties can be help with respiratory problems. It's an antiseptic and has deodorant properties. It's very useful for your circulation, your muscle and joints, respiratory, your nervous system, and your skin. It helps, with wounds, cuts, and burns. And so that is in my Protect oil. And I just really I've always loved very grounding type oils, anything that has to do with, being in a forest or a wilderness or pine trees. Just very brings your mind into that grounding state. So a very good oil to use, and it was used biblically. The next oil, last oil I want to talk about is calamus. Calamus is an holy anointing oil, and this is one that's been debated for many years. Was it calamus, or was it cannabis? And so it's a very debatable topic, but the research shows that it's probably more cannabis that was one of the ingredients in the holy anointing oil. And it got mistranslated over time in our Bibles to calamus. So for those purposes, because I don't have cannabis, I did use calamus in this blend of royalty. Calamus is stimulating, nerving, and it is an antispasmodic, a tonic oil. It is anti-rheumatic and anti-arthritic. Is useful oil for treating aches and pains. As a stimulant, it boosts the circulation and can bring relief from painful inflammation. It is also effective for fighting bacteria, parasites, and infectious conditions with an antiseptic, bactericidal, insecticide, and vermifuge properties. As a hypotensive, it can lower blood pressure. It is as a stimulant for the brain and nervous system. It promotes cerebral circulation and helps manage broad-range symptoms including neuralgia, epilepsy, memory loss, and shock. It is a neuroprotective effect against stroke and chemically induced neurodegeneration. Its uses are for your mental and emotional state, good for your circulation, your muscles and your joints, your immune system, and your nervous system. So, calamus is it's a very good oil, and like I said, it was probably not the oil that was used in the holy anointing oil. It was probably cannabis instead. And in a future video, I might do a whole talk about that, about calamus versus cannabis. There was other oils. I mean, some Bibles say it was sweet-smelling cane, and so there was a lot of controversy on what that was, but some translations do translate it as calamus, but it probably actually is cannabis. So anyway, that's another topic for another day. So that's all the oils that I wanted to hit that are in my oils that I have out specifically. And, we need to be knowledgeable in these oils, because I believe that's why Yahuah has had me in this day come forth and do educating videos to help educate you guys and to bring you back, taking us back to the ancient paths where the good way is, right? What Jeremiah says, return to the ancient paths. And so we need to gain a better understanding of biblical anointing oils. The word says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And so a lot of these things, we're living in an age of great awakening to a lot of lies that we've inherited and a lot of things that have been robbed and stolen from Yahuah's people. He calls Israel. We are Hebrew Israelites. If you have come out of the traditions and doctrines of men, out of churchianity, out of religion, and you have discarded and have separated yourself as holy unto Yahuah, and you understand why Yahushua died, to bring us back into covenant, because the covenant was broken, so that we can keep his law or his Torah, to celebrate his feast days, to eat the way he says to eat, and to keep his Sabbath day holy, and to set apart our temples unto him. You are now one that is in covenant, and you are grafted into the green olive tree, and you are called Israel. So these oils are for you. Yahuah had these biblical anointing oils to help protect the children of Israel in the wilderness in their time when they were slaughtering animals for as a covering for their sin, to protect them against disease, to anoint kings, prophets, and priests, and then fast forward into Yahushua's day, the disciples used holy anointing oils to heal the sick, and they used them to embalm people, and it can be used in prayer and meditation. It can be used to anoint your family and your home. And so we need to understand the power of anointing oils and what they do. And so the molecules of certain components, especially in spicier oils, that will go in, and like casey and cinnamon, which are spicier oils, will go in, and you have your cell of your body, right? And it'll strip away all the toxins around that cell that are preventing anything from getting in. And then once it does that and detoxifies that outer coating, then the sesquiterpene type essential oils, such as frankincense and myrrh and cedarwood that we talked about, can go in, and that will clean the inside of the cell out that has been programmed with probably your trapped emotions and all of your thought patterns, maybe the negative thought patterns, and it'll just get rid of all that garbage on a emotional level, and strip it out and replace it with good information, proper information, reprogram the cell information, reprogram your DNA and the way you think and operate, because sometimes we get into, we've become indoctrinated on many ways growing up, and we've inherited a lot of lies, and we have a lot of everybody has different perceptions and different viewpoints, and not all of it is the way Yahuah designed it. And so a lot of these oils can go in and get rid of old bad habits and old thought patterns and reprogram the cell. So it's very, very powerful tool that Yahuah has given us. He says he's given us every herb-bearing seed and every leaf for our medicine. And so, man has come along and has tainted it, and that's why you have all the side effects of different drugs and things that are put on, because they have changed the structure of the plant, and so it doesn't fit your cell perfectly the way Yahuah designed it anymore. It doesn't fit the receptor sites perfectly, and so you're not able to get to the root of the problem. That's why conventional medicine even states that they can't heal you. They can get you through a crisis, or they can put a band-aid on it, but they can't get to the root of the problem the way that a plant in its original design by our Creator designed it to be, to fit our bodies perfectly. And so it's time that we come into gaining understanding about these things, because knowledge is power, and it's time for us to take our health into our own hands, right? And to be able to make decisions. These are our temples and the bodies that Yahuah has given us, and He's the great physician, and He's given us medicine that we need to heal our bodies, but we have to have the right tools to do such. And so there's a lot of tools that can heal our bodies. It's, not just essential oils, it's eating right, it's exercising, it's taking good supplementation, it's good thought patterns, it's thinking correctly, it's keeping your eyes on things above and not on things of the earth. He says, those whose minds are stayed upon me, I'll keep in perfect peace. And so we're constantly combating, the spiritual realm that wants to come and negate all of that and to get us focused on the flesh. And so we're coming into a time where we need to ascend to a higher place spiritually, because we're bombarded with not only toxins in our world, but noise everywhere. We live in a tech society and information overload, and everybody's got an opinion, and you've got all these voices coming into your head, and so we get sometimes so focused upon all the negative that's going on in the world, and our eyes stay here on this plane, and Yahuah is wanting us to ascend to a higher plane and come up where He is, and so that we can dwell in His presence, so that we're not being bombarded by the fear tactics that are going on. So when we're elevated to His level and on a spiritual plane, our faith can arise. And so these oils can do that for you. That they can mentally and emotionally and physically and all of the hit every level of your body to cause you to ascend to a higher state, spiritually speaking. And so we just need that in this hour, because it's imperative. And so that's why I have doing what Yahuah has called me to do. But in the midst of doing that, whenever you're called to do something and you do it, you get bombarded left and right harder than most, because Satan's trying to derail you and detract you from doing this. And that's happened to me several times. So just wanted to go over my oils real quick. If you want any of my oils, you can contact me on here. Just message me. More so, I'd rather you go over, though, to Facebook or and just message me there. Private message me and just let me know what you want. I'm just taking orders privately right now, so just message me somehow. I'll get your message, and then just let me know what you would like. Right now I have royalty. My royalty is the Exodus 30 oil. This is for those of you that believe in Yahushua and Messiah and are keeping His commandments and have come out of the traditions of men. Your body's the temple, and you are a kingdom of priests in the order of Melchizedek, and royalty is for those that want to be set apart unto Him. It's just specifically for you and you alone. Or if you have children that you want to anything you want to set apart as holy unto Yahuah, this is for that purpose only. And so this oil is $35 plus shipping. And then my Protect oil is going to be $30 plus shipping. And then my Defend oil is going to be $30 plus shipping. And then my Deliver oil is $40 plus shipping. And if you buy all 4 oils, you're going to get this bottle, this perfume bottle that I keep my oils in. You can actually take one of these oils and just pour it in here. This is a 4 milliliter container, and it comes with a little glass stick on the end, and I just apply it to my forehead and under my nose and wherever, and then I'll just kind of rub it in, and that smells good. This one's a different blend that I just made up one day, so it's not one of the ones I sell, but it smells really good. And so yeah, you'll get this for free from me if you buy all 4. So just contact me through here, Facebook or Instagram or here, and we will talk privately, and then just let me know what you want. I'll get your address, and we'll go from there and tell you the total price. I do take PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, and so you can pay me through that route. So I appreciate all of you listening in, if you've stayed with me this far in the game. And I look forward to coming back and doing more educational videos with you and educating you guys, and hopefully get some biblical anointing oils into your house for you and your family. to protect you and to deliver you and to help you in this hour in which we live in, because the world is getting darker, and we're living Bible prophecy out, and these things must happen to bring about the return of Yahushua HaMashiach. And so while we're waiting on him, we need to do our best to keep ourselves protected and delivered, and to be sober-minded and vigilant in this hour. So until next time, brothers and sisters, I love you all, and shalom.